What's up, fam? Welcome back. Today's September 2nd. We're going to take a look here at the Bitcoin chart. We're going to go over what we saw yesterday. We're going to take a peek at what Q4 might have in store for us. We'll get through that, and then we'll take a look at some altcoins. We'll see what you guys are doing, what you're looking at, and we'll take some requests. So YouTube's telling me I don't have a connection. I think it's lying to me. We're just going to go ahead through it anyway. A quick reminder, new stream, please smash that like button, share the stream, subscribe while we're live. All these things help this video reach more eyes, and hopefully that will lead to some more noobs getting learned. That's what we love doing here. So yeah, yesterday we saw a nice little rally into the start of September, and it hasn't really gone anywhere since. We did see slightly higher highs since then. We haven't quite reached our extension targets here, so let's go over what we were looking at yesterday. There we go. We had a nice little rally. Let's see. So since September started, or I'm sorry, I'm getting my days confused. October. It's October now, right? It's Spicetober. We've seen about a 10-11% move opening around 43.6. And yesterday we saw a nice little rally. The bulls kind of came out of nowhere, started flexing. And while we were live, we picked out some targets to the upside. 48.7 and 49.280. These are our extensions, our Fibonacci extensions. When we take our highs and our lows, this tool can help us look for targets above us. So far we haven't hit it yet, though we did see higher trading here. Let's see, probably shortly after we turned the stream off, up to 48.5. It does seem like price is consolidating here, potentially building support and or eating through that resistance. My bet is still on that 48.7, upwards of 49.280. We're going to take a look at the indicators and see if it agrees with us. So we're going to start the episode the way we typically do. Let's just zoom out a little bit. We're not going to go ham like we did yesterday with the review, but we'll do a little bit here. So on the daily, we can see that we've made some substantial progress. This is a welcomed change. We really have seen sideways trading, in my opinion. Well, I would say pretty much, we might even be able to take it back all the way to February, right? This is pretty sideways trading. Doesn't feel that way, but this is very range bound. We have a clearly defined high and a clearly defined low, and we're right dab in the middle of it. This can be a stressful situation. I know I've been talking to some patrons about this lately. This can be stressful because it feels like there's something to do. As traders, we always feel like there's an action. We see price moving on something and we think, ah, man, I could have been in that. I lost all this money because I didn't, jump in, whatever. But oftentimes, reality as a trader is you're waiting. We're right in the middle of what is range-bound trading, and so there isn't always something to do, and that being said, doing nothing tends to be the right choice the majority of the time. Now, this candle and the timing of this candle, definitely welcomed. It is awesome to see a new quarter start, a new monthly start, and you really can feel the energy change. Into October, we had days and days of what looks like a descending wedge of some kind, and we've broken out of that. We've moved to the upside. Now, we haven't quite pushed through our daily resistance, our local resistance. That's right at our measured move target, basically. Right here. Let me add that to the chart. 48.3, sure. We haven't quite moved through there. Price is consolidating, as we said, building up strength or building up potential energy to make a move to the upside or the downside. But this is welcomed. Something that is very important, very, very important, right here, our daily moving averages. We have closed. This was our goal yesterday. Yesterday, we loved the price action. Great. We're not really out of danger yet, but we want to see a close above these major daily moving averages, and we got it. We got it. Let's see. That closed virtually where we are right now, 48.1. But what this candle did, and you can see if we zoom in, on the 30th of September, we had found support at the 100 daily moving average. That's wonderful, but by itself, not enough. what's remarkable to see is right here on October 1st. This candle, though still in a kind of dubious price range, is showing us through these moving averages that we've made significant progress. We managed to close above not just the 20, not just the 50, but the 200 daily moving average. This is very significant. Very, very significant. The longer you spend under the 200, really the more sketchy things get. Right here, that'd be the green moving average. And to see this clean break and close, there's really little doubt here. It didn't kind of close on top, and it's one of those did it or didn't it. There's clearly space below us here on this close. This is excellent. We've retaken all of these moving averages at once. This is typical Bitcoin fashion. Typical Bitcoin fashion. To look ugly or to look great, and then all of a sudden in one move, kind of turn everything on its head. So today is Saturday. We have one more day, 4 hours and 1 day left in this trading week, and we're well above our target for close. To recap here, we're looking for a close above 46,900 on the weekly. So far, that looks like it's very possible. We have the 50-day and the 200-day below us, potentially acting as support if we do see selling on Sunday. And here we are on the daily. We speculated this yesterday. Who remembers this? Who's here? We haven't streamed in a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if lots of you didn't actually get the alert yesterday. We were looking at this daily cloud. We had pushed up into it and we said, well, clouds are wonderful tools. They can show us where support is going to be. They can show us where resistance is going to be. But when you're inside the cloud, they can act as both. And really, that's what we see right here. We saw the bottom of the cloud hold as support. And we saw yesterday's rally, the energy kind of wane off there as we touch the top of this cloud. We're stuck. Not in really a bad way or a good way, but right now we're confined to this cloud. We're looking for a break either to the upside or the downside here. We haven't gotten it yet, but what we can see is, well, tomorrow's daily candle can't trade sideways and remain in this cloud. It's going to either have to leave the cloud by either printing sideways or a higher close today, or possibly a sell-off into today's close, and we can open our Sunday candle below the cloud and we can range again. Now, what is nice about this is our daily KJ line right here, 62,300. If we do see that selling into close, which fingers crossed isn't going to happen because we want that strong weekly rebound. But if it does, this is likely to provide support. We have the TK below us at 44,600. Both of those areas, a very logical place to look for some kind of support or bounce. And as we kind of speculated, well, maybe we're painting an inverse head and shoulders. I don't know if people are talking about it yet. They always seem to eventually, even if it's not there. Even if it's not there, people end up talking about it. But what we have here so far is what? A potential left shoulder, a potential head, and well, now we need a right shoulder. So at the moment, we have nothing. We don't even have a higher high. We don't have a higher close. Only very locally do we see any higher high. Right now, we don't have a pattern, but we can identify this pattern. And while we don't want to trade on an identified pattern, we want to wait for confirmation. We can take a look at this and say, well, what logically makes sense? We could see selling back to that Kaijun, and then we could see a move to the upside. The confirmation would be the retest of that potential neckline here at 48.3. That would be the confirmation of this inverse head and shoulders, and that would give us a measured move target, likely sitting up here in the 58s, basically retesting the all-time high. So we don't have this pattern yet, and today's learning lesson is patterns are wonderful tools. Okay, they're wonderful, but not all of them are useful. The less of the pattern, so right now we don't have a right shoulder, we're missing an entire piece. The less of the pattern we have, the less useful they're going to be. Really, these are things you need to see paint out and then confirm. If you try to trade these saying, oh, this looks like an inverse head and shoulders, I'm going to go long, you're really reading ahead too much, and that's going to commonly get you trapped in a position. Crypto is a huge fan of painting whatever it is you want to see just to take it back at the last second. So we don't have this yet, but it's something to keep an eye on. definitely something to keep an eye on. Our daily money flow, this is where it gets exciting. Yesterday we talked about this and we said in a bullish trend, we expect money flow to stay positive. We expect money to continue to flow into the market. It can approach, as it did in late September. Money flow is this green line here, by the way. It did approach zero, and this can happen. This is a fake out. When it approaches zero and then out of nowhere finds some strength. Yesterday, this looked incredibly strong, and today really just adding to that as we see money flow is continuing to trend up versus yesterday. This is a bullish sign. Now, what we want to pay attention to is the VWAP. The VWAP looked incredibly strong yesterday. Let's zoom back in time. That's what it looked like. It looked incredibly strong yesterday. Today, we see that VWAP beginning to level out. It's not quite as steep as it was, the curve here, or the gradient. That's okay. It's not the best. We want to see that continue to move up, continue to get steeper. But as it is still trending up, it's still a bullish signal, still a good sign. When this inevitably does, because everything, markets fluctuate, they expand and contract, nothing just moves up or down, for the most part, we will see this VWAP flatten off and trend down. We haven't seen that yet. So as long as it's pointing up, things are still looking good. Our other indicators are likely going to be agreeing with that. But so far on this daily, we're really just seeing a continuation of yesterday. Now, the MACD on the daily is very important, and this is worth bringing up. So here we are. This is the last, 3-4 months. Not so pretty, right? We have a lot of selling momentum right there. Days and days and days with very brief fake out periods of buying momentum. These were trapping people, trapping traders, trapping retail onto the wrong side of the trade, which if you've just started trading, you're soon to find out is maybe, I don't know, crypto's favorite thing to do is to get you on the wrong side of the trade. I would love to celebrate and pop champagne now because we have these two beautiful candles of increasing buying momentum. Unfortunately, this is a little too reminiscent of what happened back here, late September. We had some buying momentum candles paint, and we sold off again. There is a difference here versus back in September, and that difference is we had been seeing lower lows, meaning stronger and stronger and stronger waves of selling momentum. As of September 20th, I guess we'll take it from the 22nd, we can see that that low, that selling momentum is slowly bleeding off. It failed to make a lower low. It failed to push as hard as it had been. And this is a sign of weakness. This is a sign of exhaustion on the sell side. What is also different here is that conversely, we have larger, bigger, more robust buying momentum than we did on these last three fake outs. Right here, right here, right here. We can see that that wasn't true in September. That was a very small, very weak, almost arguably not even really buying momentum. They were so short-lived. But that's not the case here. These are beautiful candles. Now, what we're going to need to see is this continue, right? We've been faked out once, twice, 3 times. This is our 4th time. This is our 4th potential fake out. Now, this is something I've observed. I don't know if anyone else would really agree with this in the TA space. Maybe they would. I don't know. I don't really listen to them. Crypto, for whatever reason, is a big fan of 4. Now, not necessarily the number 4, but for counts. If you pay attention, you'll find that things tend to move, not in waves of 3, but in waves of 4. I think that that shows rather clearly right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I believe, the reason I believe that this exists as a thing, and I have trouble describing this because it's a very abstract concept, is, well, I think humans tend to think in 3s. I think we tend to think in 1, 2, 3, right? Ready, set, go. Green, yellow, red. We think in 3s. And so our minds, when we see something repeat 3 times, our minds are expecting that to continue. And what we see in crypto is that fourth time, more commonly, I would say, than other random counts, breaks that pattern. So what it's doing, it's conditioning your brain to see something one way and then taking it away as soon as you feel comfortable. While you might not have necessarily experienced this in the concept I'm saying with the fours, I think everyone who's traded can relate to that feeling, can relate to the, oh, I got the pattern, I see it, look, it happened over and over again, here it comes, it's coming again, and it doesn't. It's really common. Someone a long time ago when I started trading said that to me. They said something along the lines of, Bitcoin tends to fall and tends to climb in 4 steps. The fourth always looks the worst. So in this case, this drop, this fourth sell here, if we looked at it from MACD, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, there we go, 4. And they said the fourth always looks the worst. It always looks the most convincing of the pattern, right? And by far, that does. This is the ugliest thing we've seen in a long time, in my opinion. We had a very flat bottom, many tests of support there. Our highs were coming down. Our probability, our trader's probability hat, if we put that on, would have suggested a move to the downside. It would have. The same way when we see this pattern in the reverse, a flat top with our lows coming up, we tend to lean towards a break to the upside. The fourth iteration right here was the worst. It looked the most threatening. And we broke up. It's an interesting concept. I don't know. I didn't really plan on talking about it, but I just got on that track. Look for it. Just look for it on your charts. When you see a pattern repeat 3 times, and you see it begin to repeat the 4th time, try to remember that. Just keep it in your mind. It doesn't mean it won't, but it's worth looking into because it does happen. It does happen. More than you would expect. So here we are. Here we are. You know, you might even take it this way. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, again, looking the worst. 1, 2, 3, 4, looking the best. Anyway. Let's move it on. I didn't want to get stuck on that too long. So there's a nice little daily breakdown. I think what we really do want to see, though, here is our weekly. Our weekly has been our shining star for a long time here. All throughout May, June, July, even August. The weekly has been the only time frame, literally the only time frame that looks at all decent. Every other time frame back here in May, June, July, looking very bearish, showing us very bearish signals, but the weekly held on to hope here. If you look at the MACD, we saw momentum was waning off on the weekly for the sell side, and virtually nothing else was showing us this. The monthly looked bad, the dailies looked bad, our multiple day time frames didn't really look good either. The weekly has been an interesting guide for us. Right now, I don't know how much analysis this would take. I'm kind of disconnected from people who are fresh looking at charts, but I don't think it takes a genius to see what I'm looking at here. What we have is the yellow 50 weekly moving average and the white 20 weekly. And what we see is price lost the 20, broke through the 20, and in the last week and this week has tested that 20 as support, coming just shy of the 50, which is good news. We found support, and now with the day in 4 hours, the candlesticks are actually saying we want a little higher close for a bullish engulf. Is that on here? It's about 47.2, 47.1. That would be excellent. That would definitely be excellent. But our Ichimoku cloud is giving us a little bit lower of a bar, and you can see that price really is very close. That bullish engulfing weekly and the Kaijun right here, this purple line, very close together. So I'm going to go with still 46.9 is where I'd really like to see it close. Above 47.1, I think would be potentially a little better, as it would be a bullish engulfing close on top of that. But we see such good stuff here. This is just, the weekly looks amazing. We've been watching this thing for months. We lost We lost our Kaijun last week, and things looked really bad. We found support on the cloud, thankfully, and look at this buying response. There is enough time for things to change here. With 28 hours left, we could easily sell back off, or we could easily see higher highs. My guess would be that we kind of dick around here until the weekly close, to be honest. I want to see this close. We want to remain above our Kaijun line here, because if we do, we will get the strongest bullish signal Ichimoku Cloud is capable of producing. So that will be very exciting, and we're keeping an eye on that. I got a little distracted. Got off my point here. But we have another less orthodox signal going on the weekly. Outside of the bullish engulf, outside of the Ichimoku Cloud. And honestly, this is even outside of technically the 20 weekly holding, which is amazingly bullish. We have a Tom Crown TA original exclusive. This is our TA. If you ever hear anyone else talking about this, they either came up with it on their own accord or they stole it from us. Either way, doesn't really matter. But we made this up, and this is called a bullish kissing. Now, we don't have it. It is still valid. It hasn't been invalidated. But what this is, if we just look at these moving averages, is when a shorter moving average comes down towards a longer moving average, so in this case the 20 being shorter, 50 being longer, and looks to cross bearishly. So it's a threat. It's threatening. It's saying, look, this bearish signal is coming. We could tell that was happening maybe all the way back here as the 20 curled down towards the 50, even farther back, honestly, all the way back to June. We could say, yeah, those two are looking to cross, maybe even farther back. But here we are, and we have the kissing potential. So the 20 has now begun curling back up as we've been waiting for, and I don't want to say prophesizing, but predicting that this could happen. The 20 is curling back up. It's looking as if it's going to reject the crossing, this bearish crossing of the 50. Our candlesticks are agreeing with this. This is where it gets exciting. Our candlesticks, though, they this week and last week both briefly traded below the 20 weekly. Neither of them are looking to close, and in fact, they have nice bottom wicks, suggesting there's support, there's buyers there. That level is being defended. As long as this remains true, as long as we're above this 20 weekly, 40,800, we are in a bull trend. I don't know why anyone would argue otherwise. It seems crazy to me. I think that that's probably just confirmation bias or whatever. But it seems crazy to me. Every single Bitcoin bear market has started by losing the 20 weekly moving average, trading below it, rallying back to it, and then rejecting. Okay? Every single one. Go back and look at the history. Every single one. There's a rejection from the 20 weekly. What we're seeing here is the opposite. We have our crazy potential bullish kissing. This has played out time and time again on this channel. This is, I don't know if like this is a real thing. I made it up completely. I've never heard anyone else talk about it. If it's not a real thing, it should be, because this has given us so many good trades. We may even look to use this week's low as a stop loss, because if we trade below, we might lose that bullish kissing potential. Maybe we're looking for further downside. But if we look at this chart a little differently, let's invert it. Okay, and we're going to take away the 50. This is what a bear market would look like. We get rid of this. This is what a bear market would look like in Bitcoin. This is what we've seen every time. And what that is some kind of blow off top. So we rally high and then we drop faster than we rallied. We could say that's the blow off top. But what we did is we broke the 20 weekly, came back up, and rejected. Boom. That would be what we would expect to see in a bear market. However, this chart is inverted. It's upside down. So we're actually getting potentially the exact opposite signal. We've retaken the 20. We're holding it as support. And now maybe we're going to close a bearish engulfing candle. Maybe we're going to close above the Kaijun on the weekly. Maybe we're about to get the most explosive bullish signal on Ichimoku Cloud on the weekly. We haven't seen that since October. Weird timing, right? you'll find it's always October. Trademark Tom Crown. It's always October. October 2016. It's been 5 years. We still don't have this signal yet, but it's been 5 years since we've gotten it. When we got it back in October of 2016, price went from $600 right here. $600 to 220. I almost said 200. That's next year when I'm rehashing this. Went from $600 all the way to 20K. We didn't get this signal again. We didn't get it all the way up. We didn't get it since 20K. Yes, we have cross ups, but there's a difference. A cross up above the cloud is much different than a cross up below the cloud. But we haven't got one. None of these are valid crosses above the cloud. And you can see no crossing went on. We saw a cross down. And now we're setting up for this cross up. That suggests that maybe we're right here in the bull run. Wouldn't that be something? Can you imagine a world where 48,000 is the equivalent of 600s, of the 600 area back in 2016? In 5 years, we very well may be looking back on this and say, man, that's the same, like those were the same points. We were just at the foot of the run back then. Right here. What kind of sells this for me even more is, well, we had that cross down right before. The timing now, pretty darn close. The fact that it's in October, it's like too much. It's too much for me. It's too much coincidence. Unrelated to the weekly, I guess. October in general, Q4 specifically, but October more specifically, tends to be a very important time. Very important time for Bitcoin. Back here, so almost exactly a year ago. Exactly a year ago. We saw a really similar thing happen. A lot of the new traders probably aren't going to be aware of this, but last year, 2020 in September, at the start of September, we had a crash from 12,000 to 10,000. Everybody freaked out. The bear market's back. We're going to keep falling, blah, blah, blah. We're going lower than 30. That was right here. We had a crash. We had a big spooky. In October, this isn't the most exciting. But October is when we started to see that sideways trading break to the upside. It wasn't, no, it was even into the end of October. So we saw something actually similar to what we're seeing now, and then a blast off. October is a special month. That was last year. So it's almost parallel. The fall in September, consolidation, and then a rally in October. If it repeats, it's going to be almost exactly the same as 2020. And the weirdness actually continues. So in 2018, October is when we fell from 6K to 3K in the bear market. There's something about October. In 2019, it wasn't quite as interesting, but I'll never forget this day. That was the second biggest candle in 24 hours or something. In 2019, it was like October 24th. This right here. So October, for whatever reason, whether it's because it's Q4 start, end of the year, I don't know, has a history of being very exciting. Unfortunately, it's not necessarily biased up or down. We've seen October's, like I said, 2018, draw a downside. But the takeaway is we've been waiting for a move for months. The most likely month, in my opinion, to see something like we're seeing right now break is October. And here we are on the second day, right? Pretty exciting stuff. The 20 weekly holding a support is just beyond amazing. Well, let's zoom in a little. 4 hour doesn't look too great. 12 hour looks all right. 2 hour looks okay as well. 1 hour looks pretty. All right, so let's start on the 1 here. We're consolidating. What I like about this price action, so we're now zoomed in. We've been talking more macro. Now we're zoomed in. What I like about this price action is that it's very much a pattern that we enjoy seeing, at least if you're bullish. We have what is pretty flat topped with our lows coming up. In crypto, we see that break to the upside with a great probability, very great probability. That's the reason that if you were here a second ago or a few minutes ago, that this was so scary, because this was the opposite. We saw our highs coming down and our lows were rather flat. This was a move that was against the probable. TA is not an exact science. There are no certainties. It's all probability. But in crypto, man, it's so reliable. Anything that has a flat top or a flat bottom, if in the other direction we see the highs coming down or the lows coming up, we do more than 50% of the time see continuation in that direction. So looking good here just by the candlesticks on the hourly. By the way, guys, I did get curtains. I got curtains, and of course today's like completely cloudy and no sun. So hopefully we don't have that same issue we had yesterday. That was funny though. Money flow is looking good. Momentum is still looking good. And here is kind of the interesting part. I was looking at this earlier before the stream. This is our hourly MACD histogram showing us momentum. We have spent now 15 hours in a row with waning selling momentum. This wants to roll over. Look at this beautiful uniformity. Not a single candle of increasing momentum here. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. MACD's very much looking to roll over. We're gonna have bullish divergence on the 1 hour on our lows and bearish divergence on the 1 hour on our highs. So we're pretty conflicted there. That does tend to happen a lot. And in that case, I'm going to refer to the pattern. Probability of breaking up, probability of moving towards our targets from yesterday. Very good. Very good. Very good probability. Well, let's see. We're going to zoom in even a little more here. Let's go to like the 5. I've been enjoying going through the 5 minutes on stream. I didn't used to do that, but it's actually had pretty great results for short-term price action. So the 5 minute honestly looks pretty ugly right now. Candlestick wise looks okay. I view this as likely a test of support here. We can see we found resistance at 48,000 on the dot. We traded above it, fell back below, and then we saw it as resistance again here and here and here. And now we've broken through and maybe we're testing it as support. That would be excellent. What we would see happen, again, zoomed in super close, is we'd have a nice little rounding bottom. That's likely pointing to our target. Do we have any divergences? Not really. We see our lows coming up on RSI, highs coming up on RSI. So not a lot of reversal signs here yet, but really it is banking on this level, 48,000. That's a pretty clean touch. Hopefully we see a little more upside into the end of this 5 minute. But that price really coming back down to test that as support. If it can hold, we're cleared for our targets from yesterday. Money flow on the 15 looking good. Market Cipher showing some bullish signals here on the 15. Really the same kind of jam on RSI, not a lot there. And man, look at this momentum. Momentum in both directions has stalled. We saw big moves of momentum to the upside, big moves to the downside. And now, honestly, since today started, the 2nd of October, we've seen very little trading. I believe this to be a good signal as well. Typically, we see this when we're consolidating. And what it really shows is, especially if you think we're in a downtrend, if you think we're in a bear market, what we would expect to see after a move up would be heavy selling pressure, right? But we saw a move up, and now we're not really seeing pressure in either direction. In my opinion, that favors the upside. 30 minuto, very similar. Very similar to the 15. Not always the case. Market cipher looking good on the 30. On the 45. Here we go. So we saw this on the hourly here. Very, very clean. And on the 45 minute, not quite as clean, but they're saying the same thing. And you'd be surprised how uncommon that is. The 45 and the hourly, for whatever reason, are often at odds. Here they're not. Our MACD histogram on both time frames, even though they're very close to the other time frames, they don't tend to agree, both showing us the same thing. Look at this extended period of selling pressure. Losing grip, losing control. Now we did set lower lows here. That's not the best. But luckily we have higher highs. So we don't really have a clear-cut signal on that. If we wanted to zoom out more, we might be able to say, well, actually, in a more macro sense, we do have our lows coming up. And in that same more macro sense, we do have our highs coming up. Right about here seems to be the turning point. That was right when, September started. Yep. Right at September's start. Similar to maybe this point right here, July 21st. Huh, yeah. That's when the whole market reversed. So we have something. We have something on the MACD. Whoa. Just inching up. Step by step. This is really weird. Now I'm starting to get a little weirded out. So 45 and hour, really similar, remarkably similar. What's throwing me through a loop here is the 90 minute is the same. I don't like that. It's too clean. The 90 minute doing the exact same thing as the hourly. That smooth loss of selling momentum. It's too similar to the hourly. It's too similar to the 45. I'm not really going to read into it. But whenever anything is too lined up, I get a little suspicious. That's very unusual. Let's just put it that way. Incredibly unusual to see this much uniformity on our time frames. The 2 hour, of course, we don't have nearly as many candles here, but potentially putting in its second waning momentum. You really never see that. You really don't see that often. Huh. Spicy spicies. I think... So I'm going to look at... Really quick, I want to look at just 2 or 3 time frames. I'm not going to go through them the way I just did. And then we're going to get to the chat, get to requests, get to what everyone else is up to. What's up, Ro, Mary, and Tristan? Great to have you both. Thanks for subscribing. By the way, guys, if you're out there and you haven't yet, please smash that like button. If we don't get 420 likes, they take away my 420 license. So please help contribute. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. We are on our way to 50,000 subscribers, and we can only do that with your help. You guys have been amazing. We've gone from 10,000 subscribers to almost 40,000 in just this year. So keep it up. You guys are amazing. I believe in us. We can get to 50 by the end of the year. Okay. 4 hours still in good condition. Really looking for a similar setup. We do see a weakness below us in support as these clouds twist, so we want to see that continue to the upside. Momentum waning off. Cool beans. This is what we were looking at yesterday. So very odd time frame. We're using a very specific indicator, but we're not cherry picking it. It just so happens to be here. This is what I'm watching. So we saw the daily, if you were here at the beginning, money flow, this green line here on the daily, waned off and got really close to zero. We can see that happening right here. The daily just did this, but then out of nowhere found money flow, or money began flowing in again. Now the 4-day is doing something similar. We see money flows approaching zero, but we have some very, you got to be thankful when you get something that's actually clean. Thankfully, we have some very nice, let's say, convergence of signals here. VWAP has flipped over. VWAP is now positive. That tends to push price up. We see these blue lines are our momentum. They've twisted at the same time with VWAP. Doesn't happen that often. And now, as money flow is approaching zero, approaching neutral, threatening to go negative, we get these signals. We get this suggestion that maybe we're going to see a recovery here. And if we do, we'll have seen it on the daily, and then we'll have seen it on the 4 hour or on the 4 day. Back to back, basically. This is not something that happens very often. I can't remember the example I was using. Let's see. Let's take this off. I can't remember. It's something else. But that's what I'm watching for on the 4. This is all set up. It's all set up to work. Doesn't guarantee anything, but if we're approaching this, which we are, we want these signals and we got them. The 4 day was very useful back here. Very useful back here, 2020 for us. It gave us edges on the market that no one else was looking at. 3 day not as nice, but we do see that momentum winning off on histogram. All right. 3 day didn't have too much here. It is a negative money flow, but we see that VWAP similarly to the 4 day and our momentum similarly. Looking up, pointing up. Things are looking good. All right. Cool. Okay. What do I want to do? Let's end this poll. How you guys feeling? October or Octobull? Octobulls, baby. 277 votes, 83% reporting an Octobull. That's right. Help this man keep his 420 license. Yo, chat is lit today. What's up, fam? What is VWAP yellow? Correct, Matt Williams. Yes. Yeah, guys, this is Market Cipher. Market Cipher is like a custom indicator by CryptoFace, one of my friends. Great dude. I like it. If I didn't think it was useful, I wouldn't use it while I streamed. I think it's great. Definitely something if you're in the market, been trading for a long time, something to look into. I would never recommend to blindly buy anything. It does have a price tag, but check it out. It's an accumulation, and you can check out my streams here and see how I use them. It's an accumulation of indicators, and what I like about it is it just puts many different pieces of data into a visual layout that I believe makes it easy to decipher. I don't know. There you go. I put my link in the chat though if you guys want to check it out. Interesting that we've gotten selling momentum here. We were just talking about this. This is how fast charts can change, guys. Look at that. We were just saying how beautiful this was, how kind of unusual it was to see this. And since then, literally, that's changed. Now, this candle's still open. It could buy back up. We could see a bottom wick, and this could go right back into what it was doing. But at the moment, we're being faked out. Potentially. We see that increasing momentum now. It's just hilarious that wasn't true, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. And I said, I don't know if I trust it. Ooh. So that 48 level did not hold as support, clearly. Not yet. And we are testing a bearish engulf on the 1 hour. We have to see this trade below 47.9. Haven't quite gotten there yet. We may find support there. Tends to happen. Maybe we'll end up with one of these wicks. I don't know. All right. What's up, lit chat? 17% bears rising. They're welcome to rise. Poll's over. Octobulls win. An Octobull, by the way, guys, is a bull with 8 legs. Fact of the day. Fact of the day. Let's go, Shib Army. What's up, Black Ranger, man? How's your Shib doing, bro? Toshi time. We're going real soon. That's right, brother. We are. We are. 808 Hawk. What's up, Mang? Bullish, but 48k resistance. Yep. This was the level. Back in May, we were the only channel like honestly talking. No, I'll take it. I'll say it with complete confidence. We were the only channel saying it's going to go back to 48k. Don't panic sell. Not financial advice. Don't panic sell at 30. We're going back to 48. If you want to panic sell now, wait for 48. But here we are, again proving how important this level is. This level is so important that even me, the perma bull, the most perma bull of all of the bulls, I don't know, maybe Michael Saylor, even I opened a short position as a hedge at 48K. I think it ended up being an average of like 47,750. I still have it open. It's a hedge. So please don't take this as, I don't know, meaning you should do this right now. But what I did is I took a small percent of my portfolio and opened a derivative short position because I knew the value. I knew the importance of this level. Rejecting from 48K was always the threat. That originally started because the 20 moving average was here and because our retracement was there. 48. This level is the battleground. It isn't surprising to see this consolidation happening here. Right here. Not surprising. Because of the importance of this level. I don't even know where I was going with that. What's up, Gucci? Can we look at dominance? You know what? Yeah, I haven't looked at dominance for a while. Typically, we have like a tip if you'd like a request kind of chart thing. But from time to time, I want to look at them, and so I just pull them up. Here we are, man. Dominance has not moved. Has not moved. We have a little bullish divergence on the weekly on this low, though, on RSI. Our RSI came up considerably, and that's arguably a double bottom. It's slightly... Is it slightly lower or slightly higher? Slightly higher. Okay. I would still call that bullish divergence. Let's hide everything. There's too much. Where's our 20? We're still below the 20. Shout out to Ultra Chaos Steve, one of our patrons and one of our beloved members and fam. Back in July, pointed this out to me. We've been looking for a reversal on dominance, I don't know, since here. We were expecting a right shoulder to paint out and then a drop. We didn't really ever get that right shoulder. We kind of just did this strange movement downward. And Ultra Chaos Steve, the second, back in July, pointed out that the 20 weekly had rejected dominance. This is a testament to the fact that charts, there's something intrinsically connected in the universe between charts and data. And that data doesn't have to be traded. Bitcoin dominance, this is not a traded asset. This is essentially an equation where it's adding up all of the crypto market caps and dividing it by Bitcoin's market cap and giving us a percent. So even though this isn't traded, it's still respecting technical analysis. We rejected from the 20. When that happened, we both looked at each other and we're like, well, crap, we're going back down. Going back down to dominance. And we did. We're still here, though, which is odd. Very odd. Even more odd is look at this 20 weekly. It's starting to curl up despite price not being anywhere close to it, trading below it. This could be, if we look back, we haven't had that happen. Since March 2021, this has trended down. And as of, September 20th, now it's trending up. That's the first sign here on the weekly, I think, that we may start to see that rebound we've been waiting for. It's going to be hard to really guesstimate where that would go. I would guess probably from 52 to 56, something like that. Because what we're looking for... Hey, yeah, look at that. It happened back here too. What we're looking for is in a bull run, we're looking for dominance to drop as risk appetites increase. And then we're looking for dominance to make this same move. These rallies up that get rejected, rallies up that get rejected. And what this is the ebb and flow of the market. Bitcoin making a big move, and all of a sudden, all these people who took on too much risk jump back into Bitcoin as it moves. And that's when you see these rallies. And then as the alts catch up, risk appetite increases again, and people jump right back out of Bitcoin, back into their alts, and dominance drops down. So we haven't really seen that yet. This is what's interesting, and this is definitely a difference from the previous bull run. This is not the same. This is not the same movement. There's no rebound. We could say maybe this is right here, but that is like very much, I don't know. I don't think that's really similar. These are much larger moves. What we saw instead is virtually just a drop in dominance. Risk appetite really expanded quickly in this run, and it has not really managed to break any to the upside. I think what's going to happen here is when we see Bitcoin move, whether we break up to new highs or we break down to new lows, doesn't matter. In both scenarios, we're going to expect dominance to rise. We're going to expect it to move up as those people are either FOMOing into Bitcoin or their risk appetite is getting satisfied or culled off by price dropping. It just hasn't happened yet. It's pretty strange. It's pretty strange. Something I haven't looked at on dominance that I think we should actually is, let's look at the quarterly because we just started. Not a lot of info to get from that quarterly, is there? What we do have is last quarter, the body of this candle was much smaller. That can be a potential heads up for reversal. Yeah, not much here. Look back at the previous run, July 2016. Literally all the way to October 2017, we just had red quarterlies on dominance. My dog is barking. Hold on one sec. There's nothing to bark at here. There's no reason. There's no excuse to bark. There's nothing here. We moved recently. Now we live out in the middle of corn. Don't bark at corn. So this quarterly is not really showing us anything. We do have some kind of support at 40 dominance. Not really enough to go off of, unfortunately. It's a weird gapped candle on dominance, actually. Momentum maybe finally rolling over on our MACD. Potentially, we have one closed candle of waning momentum. That's certainly not enough to declare we're rolling over. Market cipher, though, giving us maybe some insight here with the VWAP approaching zero, looking to make some kind of move, some kind of positive flow here. We saw last time the VWAP moved to the positive zone, we got this little pop of dominance. And so that is suggesting that maybe we're looking at that again. That's really the only thing, though. There's not much else. There's really no divergence here. It's weird. I will say this, guys. I had a whole trading plan basically centered around dominance for this cycle. And in typical crypto fashion, it's just put me on my head. This is not at all what I would have expected. Yes, the only thing that really played out in the way that I expected is, well, dominance dropped during the bull run. That's it. Everything else, all these moves have been very erratic outside of that. Essentially, as long as dominance is dropping, the market's bullish. When dominance starts rising, we see that here, 2018, right at the start of 2018, began rising. Till it apexed January 21. When dominance is expanding, risk appetite is decreasing, aka bear market. When dominance is falling, risk appetites are expanding, aka bull market. So right now, chilling sideways is the least satisfying thing for dominance to be doing ever. It's not giving us much, but it is trending low, and so to me that means risk appetites are still there. I am definitely still looking for a lower low versus January 2018. I'm looking for a lower low on dominance. So what does that mean? 35% or less. I'm fully expecting a lower low in this cycle. That will likely be a precursor to the end of the run. So keep your eyes out on dominance. But right now, it's just trading sideways. It's been sideways since May, since we fell. What's really interesting, actually, is how closely this really does relate. the movement of dominance, even though it's bamboozled me pretty hard this cycle, the movement is still equally as important. Like, what we can look at this and say is right here, May 15th, 16th, right? Who remembers that date? That's when Bitcoin fell. Dominance moves up. Made a big move. Dominance moves up. It's trended up, it looks like, until the end of July. And that was surprisingly not at all when we had bearish price action. July 21st-ish, we seem to have bottomed. We moved up to 52K, something like that. Dominance fell again. So as long as dominance is trending down, which it still is, and it still could be, even if it moved all the way up, you know, to that 50-ish 6, even if we saw a bounce like this, still could be trending down. As long as it's trending down, we're in a bull market. It really can be almost that simple. When it trends up, we're looking at a bear market. So dominance is a really useful tool, even though it has not really moved the way I expected it to. It's still been a useful indicator. The lower dominance is, the more you should be looking to take profit on your alts. The higher dominance is, the more you should be looking to enter alt positions. Play that on the macro. That would take, that'll be a long time. But it'll be a very valuable play. So here we go. That 1 hour, let's see, is our momentum still right back to the beginning of the episode? We can actually see it flashing on and off right now. Great time to bring in a learning lesson. This is why we do not count candles till they close, ever. Slap yourself next time you try to count a candle. Because if you tried to count this as increasing momentum, you would have said it's waning, then you would have said it's not waning, then you would have said it's waning, over and over and over again. We're seeing it literally dance on that line. Turn back so it makes it a really good example. Nope. But this is why we don't count candles till they're closed. This can still move up and close in uniform, or it can come down and be an increasing selling momentum candle. Pretty spicy. Looks like it did find support right where we were looking, right at the bottom of the previous hourly. The bearish engulf was defended so far. 18 minutes left. Maybe, just maybe, we have something. Not so much. Really, we don't. We don't have much. We don't have much to go on here in the small time frame. Boo. Ooh, closing that hourly above 48,000 actually would be pretty good looking. That would be a nice confirmation on the hourly of support holding there. That's what I'm looking for. My chat froze. Sorry guys. Let me figure this out. What's up, Enoch? How you doing, bro? Don't count your candles till the fat lady sings. I would even wait until she's done singing, because she's grumpy. Lomo Tomo, Shiba to the moon. I'm curious. We've seen a bunch of people talk about Shiba today. I'll say this. I'd like that Shiba has sparked attention for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but it sparked attention from people not in crypto or previously weren't. Everyone out there who loves Shiba, please, in the chat, I'm reading it. Tell me why you like it. What is it about Shiba? Like, what? What is it about it that you like? I'm curious. What does Shiba do? Brian Miller, there you go. Feel free to answer that as well, anyone who loves Shiba, because I know the answer to that one. Though I will say in its defense, what does it do is a question that we put a lot of value on, but history has shown us that in crypto, maybe isn't the most valuable question. Because we see lots of things that do nothing, climb year after year after year. What's up, Alex Nogle? How you doing, man? Been a bit. It donates to India. Well, maybe there you go. What's up? What's up, dude? Pirate, meme magic. So I will give respect to this. I'll give my nod to this. Pirate says meme magic. Every healthy portfolio needs a small meme coin allocation. I'll nod to that. Doesn't have to be meme allocation, but a small allocation. That's what's getting the nod. That's definitely correct. If you have a small position in Shiba, I don't know, I would say keep that. I would keep that less than 1% of my portfolio. That's true of anything that's not a large cap. Then it's okay. But I don't really think that's what's happening. Do you guys? Like my friends who are texting me in real life being like, yo man, what about this Shiba? Like they're not going 1% into Shiba. They're only buying Shiba. That's like a foundation of my trading, of like my recommendations to our patrons and stuff is your portfolio should be diverse. The majority of it, again, this is all in my opinion and my experience and knowledge and insight. The majority, meaning 50% or more, should be Bitcoin. Bitcoin. I know, it's like the thing no one wants to do when they start. Because it's the most stable of any of the coins. It's weird to think of Bitcoin as stable, but it comparatively to its alts, much more stable. So you have half of that for the security because it is the longest standing.
Oh, please no more Shiba. I can't think about why it is so popular. Imagine if sharks could run on the beach. Can you check out CGG used on KuCoin?
What's up, Tom G? Of course, bro. Do that for you. Let me finish my Shiba rant. My portfolio rant. Half of it should be Bitcoin for the stability. Also for the inevitable bear market, Bitcoin fares the best. There's almost no exceptions. Bitcoin has typically historically lost 85% from top to bottom, from bull cycle top to bear market bottom. 85%, that sounds bad. But if you look at alts, on average, they lost 99% during that time. So that is the stability. Bitcoin is almost the hedge into the bear market. It's a very counterintuitive thought. But that leaves room for you to diversify, to have different types of projects, to have proof of stake projects, to have like Ethereum, things that are more of like an engine or utility in the space. Even NFTs, I don't have them. And that might be a mistake in the future. I don't know. But a small exposure to each of the little facets in crypto is great. Because exactly what you just said, Sadageki. You bought 1% in Dodge, and you think it's nothing. Now it would be, I think, 10, 20%. I think it's actually more than that. A small exposure. Your exposure to the asset in crypto, in my opinion, should be equal to the risk of that asset, to the market cap of that asset. A micro cap? You want to grab $20 of something that has like a $10,000 market cap? Sure. Whatever. No problem. Maybe that turns into a lot of money. But if you put a large percent of your portfolio into it, you're going to get wrecked, period. No matter what. Even if the coin ends up going bajillion percent, you won't make it. I promise you. I promise you. The only way that would work out is if you somehow bought it the second and it just went up. That's not going to happen. It's going to go down. You're going to freak out because you just put all your money into something that's completely illiquid. Moral of the story, I would love to hear why people love SHIB, but I think the takeaway is diversifying is good, but you need to manage. You need to actively manage that diversification. You want to buy Shiba? Go for it. You want to buy whatever? Go for it. You want to buy BitConnect? Go for it. But you will have a lot more success matching the risk, the market cap of a coin to what you're going to have in your portfolio. Literally, Sadageki hit it on the head. That's what I did. I had 1% in Doge last year. It's got weird text. That's what happened to me. I had 1% in Doge. I just kind of traded it year over year. It seemed to be very consistent. Consistent for a good trade. And then out of nowhere this year, boom, that 1% at one point, Doge was like number 2 in my portfolio, number 3. From 1% to like 12, 20, 30, etc. You don't need a large exposure to something that has a high risk to reward. You can reap the benefits by having a small exposure. You still can have that crazy upside. I bought like $150 in Doge, and at the peak, when it was 69 cents, I think I had like 150 grand of Doge. I only risked $150 max. I couldn't have lost more than $150 from it because that's all I put in. But I still had that almost unlimited potential upside with a very limited potential downside. It's the moral of the story. Let's take a look at this CGG for Mr. Tom G, my bud with the handsome name. I see what you're seeing, bud. I bet you're peeping yourself for a little inverse head and shoulder action, aren't you? Oh yeah, you are. The monthly, right here, boom. Monthly giving us the neckline. Boom. We don't have a left shoulder, but we still have this neckline set up. So what we would need to see, obviously, a break of said neckline, back test, that would likely make for a nice little pattern that we talk about all the time. Flat top ascending lows. We want to see a break of that $1.77. A back test, that's the entry. And then a higher high. We'll start you off with the moon math, Tom. I know Tom's a patron. Great dude. I know where his mind's at. He probably already knows these. He's probably already done this, but oh well. 32 bucks. You can break that $3.80 high. You might look for a 10x. That's crazy. That's a crazy amount of gains. But we're not there yet. We're not quite there yet. We don't have enough history to employ a lot of our usual stuff. We don't have a 20-week moving average even, do we? But yeah, we do. 22 bars. Where's our 20-week? Aha. All right. Interesting. So what I see here now, zoomed out to the monthly, we identified a potential neckline. Now that we're zoomed into the weekly, what we see, and I didn't know this because I never looked at this chart, is we actually already had a very, very beautiful inverse head and shoulders. That's what we're kind of looking for on the monthly. To see this have played out already on the weekly, right on. What we don't have yet, is a back test. We might not get it. But our 20 weekly, we can see right here, has just spawned, and that's sitting at 70 cents. 70 cents. The probability when this happens of price going to that newly spawned moving average is actually pretty good. I would say it's more often than not. Let's see. We could look to play something like this. Boom. Off that 20. I think a more patient trader would likely say, hey, I'll wait for potentially this neckline test. That's at like 61 versus 71. It's all really close in this range. So to see price trade to here would not be very, very surprising. Not very surprising. That's where I would look probably for an entry. I don't want this on every time frame. And let's see, bullish divergence on our lows on the daily. We don't have any bearish divergence at all. That's very unusual. Our highest point in price, right there, highest point in RSI. Now we see our RSI coming down. Our lows are coming down here. I hate that they make this purple. Nobody can see that. Our lows are coming down. And conversely, our lows are coming up in price. That's bullish divergence, baby. Bullish divergence, baby. The 20. This is still a little janky. Still a little janky. VWAP's not there yet. Money flow's not there yet. So we didn't get any clean back test here, right? This low, slightly higher than any kind of neckline we can identify. Would not surprise me, going along with what we just said and saw, to see price move down lower. Yep, it might just go straight up from here. That's always possible, but I think that's a bad bet. I think that's a bad bet. I think we're likely to see this. There it is. I think that's what we're likely to see. $200 daily sitting right at our entry. Yeah. That looks pretty good. What do you think, Tom G? What'd you have? Jusha, I need to talk about portfolio management and stuff like that more often. I'd like to. Guys, I like free... I just like kind of wing it in these. Like occasionally I'll have something prepared, but a lot of the time I like just digging into the charts for the first time with you guys so you can see. That way I don't have any bias or kind of, you know, angle. I enjoy that, but yeah, you're right. I should do more stuff like that. That's really useful information that not a lot of people talk about. Tom G, there's a trade here, man. There's a trade here, and it's a wicked trade. The question is, do you get the back test? Do you get it? I don't know. Ooh, I don't really like that. That's pretty ugly on the 4 hour. That high RSI from oversold to overbought, which is usually fine, but you just really didn't make any, you made no progress to the upside. I think this is correct. I think the probability favors this. So let's get rid of everything. There's something else we should do here. Oh, we did hit our 786 in August, our deep retrace, and that does typically tell us to favor continuation to the upside when we have a deep retrace like that. So that's a positive. There's one thing I'm missing here. One thing I'm missing, Tom. I'm surprised you didn't call me out. Let's see. That's not what I expected. So, our entry. Actually, our entry. Giggity. Our entry is right there at the golden pocket. Just by chance. Just by chance. It's right there. Our 57 cent level. Interesting. That same deep retrace that we saw here is at this neckline. Literally. To the penny. Right here. So really we would hope this doesn't hit. Really we would want to see the bounce here. That's pretty spicy. It did not hit our golden page here. All right. There it is. Drop the bomb. It's done. There's my conclusion. This is what I think is going to happen. Good chart though, man. Good eye. That's a good chart. 1% is good. Yeah. Pivotal. I need to add some sleeveless protectors to your portfolio. You gotta have the Trapper Keeper, man. Genius music. Link also does very well in bear markets. So when I said that sentence, I don't know how long ago you said this. Literally the only coin I can name or could name. Oh man, look at this shit too. Sorry, let me get back to that. So, Tom G, check this out. Check that out, man. Our 1618 is the extension from our swing low to swing high. You do not want to see this trade under 57 cents. That's wild that it's right there. Charts know the future, man. Charts know the future. Look at that. 1217, 1224. That's within a margin of error. You don't want to see it under here. Link. So the reason I don't bring it up, so Link performed insanely over the last bull market or bear market. It was a total outlier. From 2000, like I'll even just pull it up. I don't want to say that this is something that you should expect in the future, because this honestly is the only chart, the only one that I remember at all. So here we are. This is when the bear market started, and this is Link in Bitcoin value. Link just gained on Bitcoin throughout the entire bear market. I cannot name a single other chart that's true. This is very odd. It's a complete outlier. It maybe is the only one. What's odd, I guess even more so to me, is, well, we saw Link kind of peak against Bitcoin, and then into the bull market, fell back into kind of this channel. It's weird. So will this do that next time? We don't know. I don't know if that's a good... honestly, I'll say it. I don't think that's a good bet. Doesn't have anything to do with Link. Doesn't mean it can't. I don't think that's a good bet because that was so unusual. I don't have an explanation. I just don't have an explanation as to why. But this is the only chart. Look at Bitcoin pair. If you can bring me a chart in Bitcoin pair that trended up from 2018 all the way to 2020, 2021, I would love to see it. But this is the only one. I don't think it's a good idea to bet on the future of that happening again. But, like, that's it. There's nothing else. Boom. All right, so that hourly closed. Here we are, boys and girls, just as we said. The bearish engulfing on the hour was defended. We saw buyers. And then, boom, closed above 4,800. That could be a legitimate hourly support hold. That's what we wanted. That's what we're looking for. The TA was respected. Though that candle still closed. Dang. Still closed with increasing selling momentum versus the previous. So we will keep an eye. We'll keep an eye here. In fact, so much so that I'm going to set an alert. In the short term, I don't want to see this trade below 47,840. Because that's likely going to lead to more selling pressure. Herbert. I can do an old man Herbert whistle. I don't think it'll sound good in the mic, though. Love you, Lomo Tomo. Dude, Fafa Fohia says they like coins of all kinds, stores of values, blockchains, NFTs, DeFi's. I'll say I like that they're bringing value to the space. But for me, and this is my thing, and I, don't judge you if it isn't, but I think eventually in this space, everyone thinks this way after enough time, is that Bitcoin is my goal. Stacking Bitcoin is my goal because Bitcoin is the stable. It is the secure. It's the stable coin of coins. It's the thing that has the highest probability of being worth more in the future or existing at all in the future. And that's why it's my focus. I appreciate all the other things people bring to the space, all the other projects, and I use them to get more Bitcoin. So I'm a weird Bitcoin maximalist. Clinton, Ryan, F greater than Bitcoin, it's worth the risk. Hey, if you're going to pick, a large allocation in anything, I mean, obviously Bitcoin, but then look, number 2 in market cap, Ethereum. There you go. It's the second logical choice. That's commonly what I recommend to be the second largest position in a portfolio. Oh, my chat froze a lot. Oh man, this always happens. Stacking sats. That's what's up, Jay. I'm always stacking sats all day, every day. My portfolio in dollar value does this, right? Goes crazy swing highs, crazy swing lows, crazy swing highs. My portfolio in Bitcoin value is a pretty smooth climb upwards. If I keep doing that, and I've been doing this for years, and so it's not like I'm just saying this will happen. I've seen it. If I just do that, and I ignore the dollar value, and I just keep stacking sats, at some point the dollar value meets me. This year it met me and kept going. And all that stat stacking pays off. It's much easier to watch that number slowly increase of how much Bitcoin you have versus the wild swings of how much that's worth. If you can ignore what it's worth and just stack sats, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. Hex hodl, all in on Hex. No way. No way, dude. I never would have guessed that. I am Jess. What's up, darling? What the hex? What's up, Amon? Sighing? Amon sighing? Can I give Litecoin some love? You know me. I can't say no. Looks like my chart got deleted. That wouldn't be the end of the world. Nope, it didn't. All right. Our in-stream trade back here. Actually would have maybe flown. Let's see. Let's zoom her out. Let's look at the quarterly for this bad boy. I'll call that a double bottom on the quarterly. Candles closing above quarterly resistance, showing could be support. That's decent on the quarter. $122 would be the quarterly support here. Not going to have any data for this, so we're going to zoom it in. A nice healthy green candle, but nothing exciting yet. Hasn't broken a new high, hasn't broken a new low. Monthly, here we go, boys. Here we go. Monthly support, $144. We're talking very locally here. And resistance, we're right at it. We're right at the local resistance, 171. I think 172. Nope, 171 was the exact value. Wow, that's wild. LTC, you're just so well behaved. So well behaved here. 171. Local resistance, but also looking back. Man, I can't figure out what time frame this is from, but we've had this on our chart, 171.72, since like 2018. It's wild how charts respect the past. Really wild. That's our goal for this this month. Right now, looks good, but we have 29 days. We can't count this candle. Didn't close. Our momentum still showing waning. Our RSI is not really showing us much at all. And this doesn't look great either. Monthly, not looking the best at the moment. Definitely looking for a close above 172 on this month. Definitely. Without it, things could get pretty darn ugly. Let's look at that weekly. Weekly 176. All right, so we had resistance back here in May. Kind of found it as support in August. And so that's our target now in this week. We would like to see a strong close as a bullish engulf. We don't have it yet. Let's check that money flow. Money flow is still safe, but we're seeing kind of negative signs here on our oscillator, on our VWAP. That VWAP is starting to slow down, but it hasn't curved up. It hasn't flattened out. We don't have it yet. This may take until next week. No divergence. Bearish divergence there. Let's see. I'm not going to use that wick. 193. $193. Golden retrace, our golden bucket. If we can make it through. Interesting. We had a bearish cross here last week or this week. So close above 163 actually would be pretty decent. Litecoin still struggling, guys. I love Litecoin. I think Litecoin is a great buy right now. I think it is. It's my opinion. But it's struggling. Bitcoin closed yesterday above the 200, above the 50, above the 20, above the 100. Litecoin yesterday closed above the 20, which is great, but the 50 daily sitting right here, 176, and the 200 hovering around 193. It has a lot of room. Needs, well, not a lot of room. Has a lot of distance to cover just to become kind of back in line with Bitcoin. It's got to move all the way up here. Could happen. The weekly, we don't see it yet. What about the daily? Ooh, but the daily finally looks good. Daily looks good. The weekly, monthly look like crap. So we had that fake out right here of money flow. Money flow threatened to go negative in bullish trends or bull markets. Oh, okay, now. We expect money flow to stay positive. It threatened to go negative, and at the last second pulled back up. Our VWAP still looks strong. It has flattened a little bit, but that's very, very subtle right here. You see our momentum is coming up. The daily looks good. This could be our second day of increasing momentum. No divergence. It's going to be a battle. It's really going to be a battle. Get past that 50 daily. It's going to happen sooner or later. Uh-oh. I got curtains, but... Uh-oh. There's a tiny hole in my curtains. And of course, that's right where the sun's coming in. I'm all shiny. That's really annoying. Wonder if I can throw... There's just like a little space above it. Crap. Let me see. See if I can throw some. Hey, there we go. There we go. All right, no more. We're not going to let the sun tell us what to do. That's right. So basically, my take on Litecoin. Daily's looking good. Daily's starting to look good. 12 hours a little sketchy. Our longer time frames not looking so great. We're really waiting to see. Maybe we've got to get back to what? 193 really. Once we get back to 193, we can start calling this bullish again, but it's struggling. Our major levels here in play: 122, 171, 227, and then basically the all-time high, 420, whatever you want to call it. That's really it. What I like about this chart, a lot, is that we basically have a double top with a higher low. With a higher low. What does that end up painting? It ends up painting this. Big old macro. Cup and handle. We don't have it. We just don't have it yet. It's still in its loading phase. But don't worry, guys. I keep an eye on Litecoin round the clock. Bro, no one wants LTC. Everyone wants the new and shiny coin. Scar Sizzle. What's up, man? What's up, John Malia? Here's the fact. Here's just reality for everyone. Nobody cares if they're old coins or new coins or great coins or crap coins or meme coins or whatever. No one, these people that we're referring to, they only care about one thing. And that thing is that it's pumped recently. So people have been telling me that for a while. People don't want Litecoin. People don't want Bitcoin. That's true when they say it. But the second these things pump, sentiment changes like that. All of a sudden, everyone's always love Litecoin. Oh, I love Bitcoin. People just want whatever is pumping, whatever has pumped. No exaggeration, 100% of messages that people in real life have sent me about crypto, talking about like, hey, I want to get into crypto. 100% of them have been, should I buy XYZ? And XYZ is just so happens to be whatever has pumped. 100% of the time. No one has ever asked me about Bitcoin when it's not pumping. No one ever asked me about Dogecoin till after it pumped. The second something pumps is when people are interested. Surprise happens to be when it's done pumping, and then they ride it all the way back down. 100% of the time. I've never had anyone in my real life reach out and ask me, should I get this, and refer to something that hadn't pumped. Not even once. Not even one time, guys. And like, we're talking over the years, dozens of people. Like, as soon as ADA hit, like, I don't even remember. As soon as ADA hit like $3, I got like 4 texts from people who've never said anything about crypto. Hey man, I know you're into crypto. Like, what about this ADA thing? And I was like, dude, like, there's nothing wrong with it, but you're literally buying the thing that is like hot right now. You're buying like, it just seems like retail's doomed to failure. I try, but like, people who know me in real life and know what I do and know my experience in this space will still reach out to me and ask. And then when I say either no, that's a scam, because it is, like Student Coin. Who remembers Student Coin from like a few months? Maybe that was like a year ago now. Where'd that go? They'll either not listen in the sense of they don't believe me that it's a scam. They'll say, I don't know. They're just like, nah. It's like, why did you bother reaching out? Or I'll say, bro, that's like at an all-time high. That just pumped 400, 500%. Like, you're buying it 5 times, like after it's gone up 5 times. Why don't you buy something that you like that isn't up 5 times this week or something? This won't do it. I don't know if anyone's ever listened in my entire life. They're just doomed, man. Safe Moon. What about Safe Moon? That's another one I got messages about. I said, I think that's a scam. And one of my friends literally responded and said, you just think everything's a scam. And I was like, nah, bro, you just pick the scams. Like, it's not just him, but it's like, no, you just bring me the scams. I don't just say everything's a scam, man. Unsafe Moon. Well, we've talked about that here. I've been throwing around the idea. We're going to start Unsafe Moon. So Safe Moon is like, people don't want it to be a scam, right? And they like want to make money. So Unsafe Moon, what we're proposing. So we're cutting out the uncertainty. Unsafe Moon, guaranteed rug pull. Guaranteed rug pull. Or your money back, which doesn't make any sense. I don't know. But that way there's no uncertainty. You know what you're getting. You're buying it, you know the rug's getting pulled. You don't have to worry. Buy Shiba, it could be 1 cent soon. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't even know Shiba's total supply. 1 trillion? Wait. Million. Billion. Wait. This is million. That's billion. Trillion. 1 quintillion. Not gonna be 1 cent soon. Sorry, friends. It would need a $10 trillion market cap. So people, maybe my math is wrong. Feel free to call me out because I'm live and don't have time to do it in my head. That would mean that to say Shiba is going to 1 cent soon, if that math is correct, is saying that Shiba will soon have a larger market cap than gold. Like, and you could say that it will eventually, and I won't say that's impossible. But to say soon, nah, nah, dude. No, 1 quadrillion. For Shiba to be $1, it'd have to have a quadrillion-dollar market cap. Not gonna happen. Not anytime soon. Could Shiba double in value? Sure. Triple, 10x, yeah. That's the danger, though. That's the danger of thinking in flat amounts. Don't think of coins in flat amounts. Don't think of them in flat amounts of dollar cost per coin. And don't think of them in flat amounts of how many coins you have. Both of those things are huge traps. For Shiba to be, I don't know, 1/10,000th of a penny, the trap is that your brain is going to say, if it goes to 1 cent, I'm rich. But it being 1/10,000th of a penny doesn't make it easier for it to become 1 cent. Think of it in the amounts. So if you bought $10 of Shiba, that's what you have. You have $10 in Shiba. It doesn't matter if you have 10 trillion coins of it. It doesn't matter if they were 1 quadrillionth of a penny each. Those things don't matter. They're just traps. What matters is the amount you invested. If you invest $10 and it goes up 50%, now you have $15. Doesn't matter how many you have. Doesn't matter how much they cost. Whether you have a trillion coins or 0.001 of a coin, all that matters is its percent change. If it changes 50%, if it increases 50%, the amount you've invested is now worth 50% more. If it goes down 50%, the amount you invested, now worth half. Doesn't matter if you have a trillion bajillion of them. Doesn't matter if you have a fraction of them. It's irrelevant. They're huge traps. They're psychological. And don't feel bad. Everyone, even myself, everyone in this space at some point had that same thought process. Oh, this coin is under a penny. That means, whatever conclusion we draw. We've all thought that. It's just it's a fallacy. It's not real. Owning a whole Bitcoin is literally no different. There is literally no difference from owning a whole Bitcoin and owning 0.999999999 repeating. There's no difference. Mathematically, there is no difference. A whole coin is imagined. Think of maybe what we should all do is think of something in like a base unit. How many Satoshis do you own? That way you can feel good about having a whole something. Rake addicts, that's what we do, man. We're here to educate. Where else are these people going to learn this stuff? They're not. They're not going to learn it. I love crypto. I've tasked myself to share that passion. Unfortunately, people don't tend to stay passionate about something when they don't understand it and when they lose over and over and over again. 4 hours splicing. Look at that little cuppy. That's what we do. Why don't you just bring that beat back? 2 hours and 37 minutes to go. Doesn't really look like much is going to happen. Kind of speculated that at the start of the episode. I think we close this daily right about here. What's up, A Dosta from India? What's up, Dosta? What's up, India? Welcome to the family, India. By the way, you guys have joined in force this year, and we welcome you. We welcome you. Every single person. That's what's magical about crypto. Every single person, no matter where they're from, no matter what they believe, no matter who they are, every single person in crypto, we're all united. We're all on the same team. Has the ability to just take down borders, take down these concepts we have. No such thing as borders. No such thing as being from somewhere else. In my mind, you're either on Team Crypto or you're not. You're everybody else. And if you're everybody else, go screw yourself. Or join us. Yes. Yes. Bitcoin will eventually drop in second place. I hear that argument a lot. Well, what does it even matter? I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I don't care. Like, it doesn't make any difference whether Bitcoin is, whether it reigns number one forever or it doesn't. It just doesn't matter. Like, like, what does it matter? It's like, I don't know. It's an argument lots of people think about. But what's the significance of it? There isn't. I think technically Ethereum was number one for like 2 seconds, according to Coinbase. No, like 2017. Didn't matter. Does it matter? Doesn't. What's up, Jeff Doyles? How you doing, Doyles boys? 808 Hawk with the maths, dude. Right on. There's a very unintuitive math fact for you guys. 1/3 is 0.333 repeating. So 0.999 repeating is equal to 1. Mind blown. Right? It's fun. What's up, Senor Gartley? M4, one love. What's up, mate? AXS Keyshawn. I'll pull up yesterday's AXS chart where I kindly reminded everyone not to buy it as it pumped to 117. Let's see. Was I wrong? 120. There we go. Nothing changed here. Nothing. Team stocks. That's fine, Valid. Valid Roadie. That's fine. I don't know why you're here then. I mean, you're welcome. You're welcome here. I don't know. I'm a millennial. I don't believe in stocks, man. I think it's all just made up gibberish. I don't think you really own anything. I don't believe in it. That's just my own opinion. I just don't believe in it. Scar Sizzle, bro, Bitcoin makes you smarter, the S-Coins make you dumber. There's some validity to that. I fully believe, and I've seen it in my own life and in others. Bitcoin, crypto, being in it does make you smarter. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you're able to view the world in a different way. Kind of like maybe what the internet did. Probably changed a lot of people's brains, that interconnectivity. But I absolutely have seen a connection between people getting into crypto and becoming smarter. Maybe, I don't know. I'd love to hear feedback why you guys think that's true, but it's undeniable. What's up, Sam P? Greetings from the UK. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. Addy, hello world. Are you a robot? What's up, no name? Team not ever go out. Fair enough. I'm on that team. No coiner's going to be upset in December. It's always a matter of time until non-coiners are upset. Fundamental truth. Rafiq Shaykh. There's your shout out, bro. Theta T Fuel. What's up, new? How you doing, darling? Haven't seen you in a while. For new, maybe I'll pull up Theta. I haven't looked at Theta. If I could spell it. If I could spell. I can do math, I can't spell. I'm a Sats man. He's a Sats man. Sats man. Nothing going on here, really. Nothing going on here with Theta, and thus likely nothing going on with T-Fuel. It's at the retracements. Hits 0.5 hasn't reached. This is in BTC. Has not reached a 618. You got some bullish divergence though. That's a pleasant surprise. Theta BTC actually looks pretty good. Ooh, our entry has not been reached yet. We do have a higher low. That's fancy. No. Wow, look at that. Off the low, right to the golden pocket. Hopefully coming back for our trade. Hasn't quite made it. We're looking to go long 445. What? Why does this happen to anybody else? This keeps happening with TradingView. For some reason, when I place these long positions, like, for some reason, it like drags them down into the negatives. Like, I don't know. What up with that? Take it from there. Ba-ding, ba-dong. All right. Honestly, Theta looking a lot like Litecoin in the sense of, yeah, we're seeing some upside. It's set a local higher high, but hasn't really been able to get through any significant highs. And it's still struggling, still below the 50, struggling below the 200. Very similar to Litecoin. I'm still looking for $4.45 as an entry, as we were all the way back here. But, I mean, this pattern, this is one that's eventually going to break to the upside. We have a very clear descending high trend. Eventually. We'll see. I'm going to know. What else did we look at yesterday? AXS. Good call on XTZ BTC yesterday. Whoever was that, Kato? Who was that? It was one of our patrons, I think. Good call. That was a nice little turnaround there. Nice little 20% in a day. Now this chart looks a little better. We got our lows coming up and our top is getting flat on our third test here. That's giving us a flat top. I like it. Crow has not filled us, but a nice little candle on Crow BTC. All right. Cake traded sideways. Ethereum BTC. Looking to test that new local monthly double tap resistance 0.72. That's likely coming soon. Ooh, with a good close here on Ethereum BTC. On the daily, you can get a nice little kissing. That's not bad. Let's look at the dollar. The dollar pair. Hanging out at the old resistance. So yesterday when we looked at Ethereum, we were a little skeptical because it was looking to close below the Kaijun. That can be sketchy. Intraday today, it traded back down below, but now it's looking to settle up near resistance at 3,437. Pretty nice. If I ever figure out who it was, someone asked me, I don't know. If I ever figure it out, someone asked me about buying Ethereum in mid-September, and they said they wanted to buy at 3K, and they said, would you? And I said, I wouldn't. If I was looking to buy at 3K, I'd be looking for 2,700, 700, or 2,775. Boom. Now trading at 34 for a 25% gain. Whoever that is, congrats. I wish I knew who it was. I can't remember. Is Ethereum really looking any different? It's actually mirroring Bitcoin here pretty well in the cloud. Found support at the bottom of the cloud. Now it's looking to test top of the cloud. Pretty similar. Need to break your high of like 3,600. Don't have it yet. Nice bullish engulfing candle here with a day and 3 hours to go. If we get a close above 3,333. Momentum still not so nice. VWAP maybe making a move to the upside. Interesting. No real divergence. 4K. There it is. There she is. Ethereum is now at monthly resistance. 34.30. That's your target. You want to close above there this month. I think Ethereum looks good. Man, you had your all-time high. You sold off. You hit a low. You moved back up, and now you're just trading sideways. On the monthly, you really can see it. You can see this right here, 2775. You'll never guess that's why. You'll never guess that's why I said I'd wait for 2775. Because that was a monthly support. You bounced it, and now you're consolidating. Above previous support. Resistance, now potentially support. I think Ethereum looks good. I've been saying it since we hit 4,000s. I don't think that this is the all-time high for Ethereum this run. It's going to see higher highs, in my opinion. You might just have to wait. Could even come this month, though. Look at this setup. That's a 3-candle long trade setup. Get a close above. There's your signal. ADA. Ooh, still at the entry. In BTC pair, still at the monthly entry. That's an opportunity. Opportunitas. Oh man, this thing isn't working again. It's not working again either. Nope. Gosh darn it. Weekly resistance. It's above the 20. ADA is looking fine. Everything's kind of just chilling. I think literally the whole market is waiting for the corn. And thank God we have total. Total market cap. Thank God. Thank God. This looks good. Shallow retrace. This is what we're looking for. Total, we want our lows coming up, and we want to keep testing that all-time high. As long as total market cap is bullish, everything is bullish. And total going for the weekly bullish engulf as well. It'd be a great close. Perfect touch to the 20 weekly. Bullish engulfing candle off of it. Doesn't get much better than that. MTV. Consolidating has not hit our entry either. Boo. Something interesting. I shared this with the patrons. I wanted to just share it because it's not really valuable. It's just odd. So we looked at this yesterday. I don't know why people are asking me to look at Grayscale Litecoin yesterday. But what's interesting is yesterday the premium was 5%. Today is 11%. So that in itself, not really important, but very unusual to see that premium double overnight. It's weird. Not bad weird. It's eye-catching. It's sus. All right, Bitcoin, you're clearly waiting for us to be done. You dick. Let me see. I didn't play this. I'll play it. This was made yesterday. I'm going to update this, but I'll play it for you. Welcome back, everybody. We are on the scene. Today starts the fourth quarter. Today is the 1st of September, and thus the best day to sign up for Patreon. Don't wait. Sign up today. What does Patreon come with? Who is it for? Patreon is for anyone looking to invest in themselves to become a better trader. It comes with daily publishes of trade setups, technical analysis, news analysis, macro market analysis, all kinds of insights, that I share exclusively with the patrons. There's educational videos and content. This is going to be a big month for our groups. I'm hoping for a lot of new members this month. Check it out. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for the new stream. Let's get into it. So you heard the man. Check it out. Check out the Patreon, guys. This is the second of the month. It's a great time to sign up. It's the best value. We have multiple memberships available. We have kind of just, you just want to support the stream. You want the content, the trade setups, the TA, and farther over, you want the one-on-one mentoring. Daily publishes here. A lot of value, lots of insight. Check it out. It's pinned to the top of the chat. We have had 3 people sign up so far this month. Hopefully we can get that number up. We'd love to have you. Anyway, everything's seemingly pretty boring going on here. So we're going to wrap it up, guys. We're going to be live again tomorrow. And the next day. And the next day. And hopefully you join us. Best way to make sure you catch those live streams, get in the Discord. It's free. There's 24/7 live stream in there. I'm going to put this stream up again because nothing's changed. Yeah, come join our fam. Thanks for being here, guys. You guys are the best. I love you all. We didn't quite make it to 420 likes, but we'll get back. We'll get back. We're a little rusty. It's all good. Well, happy trades. Crown out, everybody.